The new announcement trailer for Cassette Beasts 2002 just officially dropped, and I want to talk about a couple things that may have gone under some people's radars. If you're new here, hi! I am a Cassette Beasts speedrunner, wiki contributor, data miner, modder, competitive player, and content creator. Given the breadth of what I cover regarding this game, there are things I find interesting that a lot of people wouldn't pick up on at first. I'm not really good at giving compliments, so I'll just yap about the trailer a lot. First off, Jay Bayliss, one of the developers of Bitten Studio, confirmed that CB2K2, yes, I'm sticking to this acronym despite how needlessly inefficient it is, has been planned for a very long time now, and we can see that in some hints found within the original Cassette Beasts, which I'll bring up as we proceed. Let's briefly discuss the new menu here, which, yeah, is a portable cassette player. I don't see a fight command, but there is a skills option. I'm guessing skills are what you refer to as the available moves that come from stickers, but if that's the case, I'm not really a huge fan in the sudden shift in lingo when the original CB hasn't really used this term. It's also visually in the middle of the menu when it's one of the most important aspects of combat. There's also a dedicated smack button now, which I can understand making it more clear that there's always a do something button, but it's given the same weight as using a move or skill, whereas the option to flee is tucked away at the corner. Even though a fuse button isn't shown here, likely due to the fusion meter not being full,
being lost on another world.
Here I want to focus on what's happening in the background. Sorry, Nell.
Come on!
It eventually was confirmed by Jay that CB2K2 uses Godot 4, and it's best shown in this shot. The sky has static elements, the shadows look a little different, and here the terrain isn't confined to a voxel grid. These things were really difficult to do back with 3.5.1. Godot 4 makes huge changes in the scripting syntax and other major changes compared to 3.x that will have to start from scratch again when it comes to modding. But at least there are a couple new features that would be game-changing for the modding scene.
Return to Earth!
Okay, Tunli is a name that has appeared on Bitten's IPs before. First in Lenna's Inception as someone running a potion and tunic store along with Potter and Tressa. Then in Fall Down Mall as a store name, Tunli and Potter. Is this the same Tunli? I don't know. Here in the manor there's this peculiar painting. It's based on a real painting called Witch's Sabbath by Francisco Goya, which is supposedly linked to witchcraft. Also here there's the signature static effect on the window, which could be visual language of being in another world. But from the rest of the trailer shots, a door is also used to travel maybe between worlds, but it could also be fast travel. The static reminds me of the Dead World during the intermission. Speaking of interdimensional travel, this has been somewhat hinted at as well. If you know about the interdimensional post box, which is where you enter codes to get free stuff, the data used for that is stored somewhere on the internet. There's this new entry in it I found a few days before the trailer officially dropped. It says, "Thank you for participating in our new World Anniversary excursions. We also congratulate you on immediately finding an interdimensional gateway. Looks like those pesky archangels didn't hide this one too well." Why is this message soapy? What does E5B5-4A02 mean? The coffee 2 here is Americano to go, but it could also just be because it's for the second Cassette Beasts game. If you notice very carefully on this legally distinct Nokia phone, or icon, the number 310646 gets dialed. What does this number mean? It doesn't spell out a word because the number 1 is used.
You first came to Elmwich looking for your friend.
Elmwich. Right. This has been mentioned in the original Cassette Beasts before, twice in fact. The first time from the Gauntlet as one of the announcements made while in the train, and the second time from Sunny's Visions, which I'll just replay quickly. The first image here mentions Elmwich, which is related to the new town of Elmwich in CB2K2. On the lower left corner is a date, 9/01/2002. So probably September 1, 2002 since the first number is 1 digit only, but I think UK convention does it by day, month, year, so it could also be the 9th of January. At the time this released back then, we speculated that this is related to Sunny's origin story. The graffiti references who put Bella in the Witch Elm, which is related to an unsolved mystery of an unidentified woman whose life was taken from and then stuffed inside a Witch Elm tree. Yeah. Next, this shot of the mansion in the background. It looks a lot like a file I stumbled upon while looking at the decompiled version of Cassette Beasts for version 1.8.3. Curiously, the JPEG file is misplaced in the network folder perhaps intentionally with the following file name. The two buildings look somewhat similar. This is supposedly the Westerly estate. The name will come into importance later. For now, this image mentions a poet and artist named Blake Williams in 1805. No such person existed, but there is an English poet and artist named William Blake who was alive at that time period, whose main works supposedly discuss the body of God or human existence itself. We'll get to that later. As for the file name, I'm guessing it means ARPANET Archive London September 1, 2002 or January 9, 2002. Page or file 497. ARPANET was essentially the predecessor to the modern-day internet, so maybe this is how interdimensional travel is explained away, that these worlds in the connected cosmos are linked to some grand ARPANET of some kind. And there's a problem concerning this. Like an equivalent of a digital virus maybe, and the mirrors used to travel between worlds, are connections to this ARPANET? It appears very briefly here, but this is aberration red. The purple AP meter indicates Archangel-like mechanics, but it could also be similar to the infernal engines from the Fear of the Unknown DLC. Aberration in optics refers to the image made by imperfect bending of light, producing artifacts such as blurring or colors not mixing properly. So of course we can expect a blue and green aberration as well, which as light these three colors make white. Lensing is also a big theme, so maybe it has to either do with the mirrors used in interdimensional travel, or maybe Aleph who has a mirror for a head. And then there's this fella right here, presumably named Westerly, based on this website description calling them as a mysterious occultist, possibly connected to the Westerly estate from earlier. If we return back to Sunny's visions, there's this image of a notebook. Dotisus in the lower left corner. There are also mentions of the Shadow Moon, which are probably the blackout bits we saw across the trailer. There's also whatever this thing is. Is it a boat or a fetus? Can I even say that? I dreamt a dream. What do angels fear? The inherent flaw in man. The dark space. The empty space at the center of all things. The last city. Their bodies buried in the ruins of the universe. Sorry. I don't know what got into me there. Anyway, this sounds like yet again more teaser related to CB2K2. Could the last city be Elmwich or something else entirely? Remember William Blake, the body of God or human existence itself guy? You think the fictional Blake Williams wrote these notes in universe? Returning back to real world William Blake, he has constructed a whole mythology which is worth looking at. Albion, a primeval being, split into four Zoas. Urizen, the embodiment of reason and law. Tarmas, sensation. Lava, love, passion, rebellious energy. Urtona, inspiration and creativity. Could this Albion be an important figure for the story? Now look at this final image from Sunny's vision. What the heck is this thing? It's somewhat humanoid with a radiant-like head, but it also for some reason looks mechanical, mainly because this appears after interacting with the wheel in Sunny's quest People Are People. Is this related to the Merline? Is this a progenitor of all archangels, the center of all things? Is this the main antagonist or something else? One more thing. The Star Steam page mentions that you can transfer data into the new game, and some people, myself included, speculate that it depends on the head code shown in the Ranger ID. That pretty much just encodes player appearance, pronouns, starter choice, partners unlocked, romanced, and other story progression flags. Note that this only shows up once you've beaten the game. Keep in mind this isn't definitive yet, as it's possible Cassette Beasts get updated in the future to include more information that could be imported for CB2K2, but that doesn't sound like anything really game-changing from the looks of it. Much of what I've talked so far are things I've looked into independently of others, but I want to briefly mention some ideas that came from the community. First off, Westerly looks a bit bird-like, which could be a reference to Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, since this is where the word nevermore comes from, and hence Nevermort. Westcott has also been mentioned due to, well, West, as well as his involvement in the occult and esoteric and could be linked to Westerly. People also digged into a secret book in Lenna's Inception mentioning both Blake Williams and Westerly. In the video description, I'll add links to a lore document compiled by Rabbit Soda, a list of confirmed monsters made by a chaotic humanoid, a blog post by Theotime, and a corkboard of connected ideas by The Wasteland Gaming. Sidonia did an interview with Jay Bayliss regarding CB2K2. Simbo made an English transcript document which I'll link in the description if you can't speak Italian. But either way, there are interesting things in there like the mention of an
origin system where you kind of pick one of three kind of starting origins that kind of affects the quest as you run through the game.
That's gonna be it for me for now. Go down in the comments if you think there are other underlooked things that could be talked about. Like, what do you call these creatures? The devs have started using the word beast in official announcements, though in the trailer the word monster is still used.
Turned into scary monsters with cassette tapes.
Should we go back and start using angels again?